Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a Sonic discussion. Today's Sonic discussion, we are looking over the Rally for Sally Miss Debunked page. This was posted by the official Rally for Sally Twitter account, and I'm really eager to read up about it because I've been very critical of Rally for Sally. So hopefully this debunk thread will win me over and it won't be cringy as fuck. Okay, so the first question, asked hypothetically by presumably a straw man, is: you guys are fighting a losing battle because Sega doesn't own the rights to Sally or the SatAM/Archie material. Ken Pender/Archie/Deke owns them. Actually, Sega owns the Freedom Fighters, especially Sally Acorn, as her earliest known creation date is June 24th, 1991, listed in the second draft of the International Development Documents created by Sega of America, called the Sonic Bible. Now, it should be known that that version of Sally Acorn is nothing like the version of Sally Acorn they want to use. The version of Sally Acorn they're talking about was actually a localization for the creature known as Ricky, who is actually closer to a squirrel rather than a chipmunk. This is relevant because that version of Sally Acorn was used in the Fleetway comics. So that would open up the debate of, is it the same Sally Acorn? Is it just another character named Sally Acorn? Is it the Sally Acorn they're trying to use? Who is Sally Acorn? That what would be brought up from there. Because if you look at the Sally Acorn mentioned then, it looks nothing like the Sally Acorn from SatAM, nothing like the Sally Acorn from Archie. I'd say it's debatable if that counts. In fact, the other media and publications that use Sally character do not credit any outside source for any of these characters. This includes Sega World Australia, Sonic and Sydney, Sega Technical Institution, Sonic Spinball, Troll Communications, several novels, Golden Books, several picture books, Archie comics, etc. An entry in the US Copyright Office further proves this. So yes, that is true. I've said this before. Sega does own all of the Freedom Fighters. Not because of the outdated Sonic Bible names. I'm talking about because they actually copyrighted everything for the cartoon show. So Sega of America owns any characters that appeared in SatAM, 100%. They had these names already copyrighted. They already had all these names trademarked because they were planning on using them in other media. That's why they licensed them out to the Archie comics. That's why they licensed them out to the novels, the kids books. That's why they did that. So it's kind of right here, but I don't like that they keep referencing the Sonic Bible, seeing how that is basically a completely different character. Number 2. Oh, I see what's going on. You're trying to get all the Freedom Fighters into the mainline games, right? And that straw man is me. That is a quote that I said. And to give you more clarification on why I said that is because the two people in charge of Rally for Sally, or two of the head people in charge of Rally for Sally, is Richard Kuda, which I don't know his real involvement because like everyone hides Richard Kuda because he's some type of monster that must not be named, but he's involved. And Alex Hedgefox. Alex Hedgefox and Richard Kuda do not want to just stop with getting the Freedom Fighters into 1 or 2 games on the mobile devices. No, they have been fighting for years, and if you go on their Twitters, if Richard Kuda still has a Twitter, he has one under a different name, but if you can find his Twitter, you can find that Richard Kuda and Alex Hedgefox has been autistically fighting for years, trying to get these characters into the real games, trying to get these characters back into the comic books. They were part of Save Archie, which was a stupid thing where it was like they were trying, well, Save the Freedom Fighters, Save Archie, whatever you want to call it, where they were trying to get the Freedom Fighters into the IDW comics. He accused Tangle of being a ripoff of Sally Acorn. It's some crazy shit. Just look up who Alex Hedgefox is and who Richard Kuda is, and you would know that they have greater intentions for this. Now, am I saying everyone associated with Rally for Sally is trying to do this? No. Kojiro is also one of the head people involved in the Rally for Sally movement. And I know Kojiro is a rational person who is not trying to autistically fight in the name of Sally Acorn. He would be fine with her just getting into Sonic Speed Battle and Sonic Dash, or Sonic Forces, whatever they call it now. He would be fine with that. but not Kuda and Alex Hedgefox. Don't believe them. I don't believe them. I don't trust those two. No, this campaign has only been about Sally getting into the mobile games, Sonic Dash and Sonic Forces Speed Battle. Besides, if Tangle and Whisper can get in with IDW Sonic only existing for about 3 years, and Sonic movie OVA can be referenced through the hat on Treasure Hunting Knuckles, even the OVA hasn't been relevant in so many years, then why can't Princess Sally join in and represent the SatAM/Archie crowd? Also, we're only focusing on Sally because it could be argued that she is in fact the face of the Knothole Freedom Fighters and the Archie/SatAM community, and the fact that Richard Kuda has a fetish for her and literally wants to fuck her. That, and it's one less character than what IDW fans have received, so we don't come off as too demanding. Now, when it comes to OVA Knuckles being represented with that hat has appeared in the comic books too. That hat has been referenced throughout Knuckles' creation multiple times in multiple different continuities. It did start off with the OVA, but I wouldn't necessarily say that makes that OVA Knuckles. It's just the Knuckles we know, but with a hat. So I don't really know if that would count. I think you have a stronger connection with movie Sonic or the IDW characters getting in. I think that's the better connection, but whatever. I guess you need to prove that the Freedom Fighters aren't too old to get in. But what I'm going to say is, are the Freedom Fighters relevant anymore? It's really hard to read the Archie comics, because unless you're buying them secondhand, like, how are you getting exposed to this media? I don't know. I think it's just a little bit iffy, because, like, that's not OVA Knuckles. It's not being like an OVA event. It's just the hat. So I don't know. I think that's a bit iffy. But I see where you're coming from. Number 3. Sega considers Sally Acorn and the Freedom Fighters to be retired. Why do you think they haven't been seen since the cancellation of Archie in 2017? Well, they used to consider Mighty and Ray to be retired, but look at Sonic Mania Plus. Big the Cat was almost retired and phased out of the franchise until Aaron Weber salvaged him using clever marketing on the Sonic social media pages. Besides, they initially planned to kill off Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2, but the fan demand to bring him back was so astronomical that he was revived in Sonic Heroes and became a core part of Sonic's group ever since. Nothing is ever set in stone with Sega, cause things are always subject to change, especially at the last minute. I mean, I can see where you're coming from there, but at least with Mighty and Ray, they had been in games since the beginning. Like, Ray and Mighty started out in Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Mighty appeared in Knuckles Chaotix, so at least he's a game character. Shadow appeared in Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 2, so at least he's a game character. Big the Cat appeared in Sonic Adventure, so at least he's a game character. And I know what you're saying, Sonic Spinball, but Sonic Spinball is not a canonical game. Sonic Spinball is a cartoon tie-in. That's like saying Scratch and Grounder should be in the mainline games because Scratch and Grounder appeared in Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That's ridiculous. I don't think that should count. I can see the plus of bringing Sally Acorn in, but I can also see a lot of the minuses of bringing Sally Acorn in as well. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think that, like, Sally Acorn is a completely different beast. Not to mention the Sally Acorn that appeared in Sonic Spinball was the pink Sally Acorn with black hair from the fucking beta shit. So that's not even the current version of Sally Acorn. I don't think you'd want them to use that Sally Acorn, would you? Number 4. Come on, be honest. You just want Sally Acorn to replace Amy Rose for decades worth of division and shipping wars they caused since Sally Acorn was around first. I don't know who fucking said that one. Maybe fucking Dumbsville? I have no fucking clue. I don't know who's making that an argument about Rally for Sally, but whatever. Not at all. While we can't speak for all the fans of Sally, we merely wish for her to coexist with the rest of Sonic's menagerie of freedom-fighting friends. I thought it was just to get her into a mobile game where she wouldn't have to coexist because she's non-canon, like the owl bitch from the Sonic movie, or OVA Knuckles like you said, or Tangle and Whisper. They don't have a plot line in that game, so I don't know what you're trying to get at there. She does predate Amy, Knuckles, and all the classic cast, and was always intended to be implemented implemented in the games in such titles such as Sonic 16, which was not supposed to be a canon Sonic game, it was also supposed to be a cartoon game. Sonic Mars, aka Sonic Extreme, which most of the storylines for Sonic Mars or Sonic Extreme were actually fake and were sent out to the press just to give them something to talk about. And in fact, she probably would have just been replaced with Tiara Bobowski, which was basically Sally Acorn anyway. But whatever, if you want to count that, you can. That were unfortunately canceled. So no, we don't want her to replace anyone. Plus, canonically, Amy and Sally are friends, which is true. Which is why I don't get why so many people hate Sally Acorn, because they actually are friends in the comics, and Sally is seen as like just a younger friend who has a crush on Sonic, but it's always implied that she'll get over it and that Sonic and Sally were always meant to be a thing. So yeah, that was everything in the Sonic Rally for Sally Miss Debunked page. I can see where they're coming from with all these, but yet again, I can also see the downside to this shit. The reality of it is, I feel like they were trying to debunk the straw man arguments of this shit, rather than addressing the real concerns like Richard Kuda being involved, Alex Hedgefox being a main person, the harassment of people on Sega live streams and Sega social media accounts trying to get this to trend, like spamming the live chats of live streams from Sega and Sonic. Like, they didn't address any of that shit. They didn't address any of the negative shit that people actually care about, mainly involving the people who founded this movement to begin with, and the fact that they've been trying to get the Freedom Fighters into the games for years, trying to get the Freedom Fighters into the IDW comics for years, and that this is probably just a one big one-upsmanship just so they can say that they did it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I think that this was an interesting discussion. They didn't win me over, but maybe they won you guys over. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye. Before the credits roll, I thought I'd give a shout out to my multiple ways of making money. YouTube is slowly starting to sanitize the platform, making it harder for people to make money on edgier content like I do. So I'm reminding you guys that I have a Patreon. The Patreon has plenty of reward tiers, including seeing my podcast early, being able to join my fan Discord, and possibly even getting on the show if I can fit that into the schedule. I have video recommendation tiers that you can try to get into, and if all else fails and my YouTube falls apart, I always have a BitChute account, so remember to check out all these different things in the description below.